What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk about something today that I feel like everybody at some point has dealt with, and that is bloating. So I feel like everybody at some point in their life has dealt with bloating, and I'm going to talk about today some of the reasons why you may be bloating. The reasons why you might be bloating aren't limited to the 6 that I have on my list. They are just the 6 that I'm most familiar with and I most have to deal with, so that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. First one is not drinking enough water. Now, anytime you feel like you're bloating, my first rule of advice is going to be drink some water, because no matter what reason why you're bloating, whether it is because you haven't drank enough water or not, chances are if you do drink water, it's going to help combat that. But if you're not drinking enough water, it's going to slow down your digestion. It's going to make you have hunger cues, which from there is going to result in sometimes maybe you overeating or binging. So anytime you feel like you might be bloated, it is a possibility that you haven't drank enough water. Good rule of thumb to have, try to drink about 8 to 10 cups of water a day. I think it's typically 8. I don't know if that's completely accurate. I have a Yeti cup, little tumbler that I keep beside myself anytime I'm at home, and I know that that's about 30 ounces, and my goal is to drink 3 of those a day. So sometimes it helps for people to have a different just kind of amount of, I have to drink X amount of this many glasses a day. So find yourself a good sized tumbler or cup that you keep with yourself around the house, and know in your mind, I need to be drinking X amount of these a day. Number 2 reason why you might be bloating is overeating. If you eat too much, chances are you're going to feel bloated because you can't digest it that fast, and that food has got to sit somewhere. If you're feeling bloated and you know you just had a heavier meal a few hours ago or earlier that day or even the night before, just reassess, like, okay, it's because I just had that heavy meal. This isn't going to stay like this forever. I just need to drink some water and try to stay active. Anytime I have a really heavy meal and I can feel it in my stomach, I try to stay active. I try to stay active by doing something just like going on a walk. So I'll go walk a mile or 2, and then I'll usually feel better. Even if the bloatiness isn't completely gone yet, I still feel better that I got up and worked it off a little bit and burned some calories. But I also feel like I help speed up the process of digesting that meal and helping that bloatiness go away. Reason number 3 that you might be bloating is you may have a food intolerance. And maybe you're someone who, you're like me and you've gone your whole life and never had any kind of food intolerance or allergy before. So you're thinking, well, I'm not allergic to anything, so it can't be that. I actually just a month and a half ago realized I'm allergic to shellfish. Never in my life. I grew up going to Joe's Crab Shacks and other seafood places with my family. Even through college, I would go to all the crawfish boils and everything and never had any kind of reaction. But over the past probably 6 months to a year, I've noticed myself complaining a lot more about having stomach aches. And it actually started because I was complaining about stomach aches around the people I was around all the time. And I finally had somebody who said, you might be allergic to shellfish, because it was on a day that I just went to a ramen house and I had shrimp ramen. And we remember the last time I was with the same person and we had had some crab cakes. So we put 2 and 2 together that I might have a shellfish allergy. I've since then cut shellfish out of my diet, which is super sad because I love all things shrimp and crab and everything from the sea. But I've cut it out because I would notice that whenever I ate it, I got bloated, my stomach hurt, I didn't feel good, and it just wasn't worth it. So if you are noticing that you're feeling bloated or not feeling very good, reassess what you ate in the 2 to 3 meals before and start trying to notice if there's any kind of pattern whenever you start feeling this way. Try to keep a mental note of what you're eating, and whenever you feel this way, reassess, what did I eat for my past 2 to 3 meals, and along the way, see if there's a pattern that you notice, and you might have to start cutting some things out of your diet. Reason number 4 that you might be bloating is you're either getting too much fiber or you're not getting enough fiber. So either one of these can make you feel bloated, so you have to make sure you're right in the middle. For women, it is about 30 grams of fiber. I think 25 to 30 is the recommended that you're supposed to consume a day. Again, try to keep up with what you're eating and whatnot. If you're eating too much, try to take it down a little bit. And if you're not eating enough, try to add more fiber-based foods into your diet. And a good example of foods that have a lot of fiber in them are whole grains, veggies, and fruits. But if you feel like you're either eating too little or too much, assess and try to get somewhere around that 25 to 30 grams of fiber intake per day. Reason number 5 you may be bloating, and this is one that I still do all the time, but artificial sweeteners. I am more mindful of the artificial sweeteners I use and how often I use them. I don't use them daily anymore, but artificial sweeteners, especially syrups, if you're going to Starbucks and you're ordering a non-fat, low-fat, whatever, chai latte, macchiato, whatever it may be, that syrup may be making you bloated. So even though you think it's healthy because there's no sugar in there or no added fat in there, if you find yourself feeling bloated and you're having a syrupy coffee like that, or you're finding yourself using some kind of other artificial sweetener in your coffee's where they're usually found, go reassess it, try to find a replacement, because if it's making you bloated now, it's going to continue to do that. It's not something that you're just going to get over. And reason number 6 that you may be bloating is it is that time of the month. So unfortunately, that's not anything that we can do anything about. It just happens. It can happen the week before your time of the month. It can happen the week after. And it is more likely going to happen all during the week of. All I can really suggest you do here is still try to stay active. Even if you can't go do a full blown out workout like maybe you're used to doing, go on a long walk, go on a bike ride, go just walk the treadmill, do something to stay active, because that's still going to help the bloatiness, even though it's still going to be around until that time of the month is over. But stay active, and as always with any of these 6 reasons I just listed, if you ever feel bloated, first thing I would suggest do is try to drink some water. Second thing I would suggest do is try to get some kind of low intensity activity going. Alright guys, well those are my 6 reasons that you may be bloating. I hope this helped some of you out. If it did, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, let me know what else you might want to see, and subscribe to my channel. Alright guys, it was great hanging out with you. Bye!